Tonight, I want to offer you a very powerful mantra that can help you remain happy or become happy in the midst of great change and challenge, which is what the world is going through right now. So more than likely you are too. There's great change going on now. Many things are changing, and this is not going to stop. These changes are quite profound, and they're going to keep on coming, right? I mean, we all know that if you know anything about Buddhism or Zen, that everything changes. Everything is impermanent, which means everything is always changing, and this is true. But now we're seeing changes that are much greater. They're hard to miss, right? Nobody can miss the change of the COVID-19 coronavirus. No one can miss the change of social distancing, and many, many things have changed in your life. And for many people, this brings great challenges. They're not as resilient. They don't sort of flow with the changes as well as other people do. And when you resist change, you suffer, right? I'm sure you know this. When you resist change, you suffer. The more you resist change, the more you suffer. It's a very simple formula. If you don't resist change at all, you don't suffer. When change happens, you don't suffer. You just roll with it. This is what we call resilience in psychological terms. Resilience is a way that you just flow with life as it comes. I have a friend who is very resilient, and it turns out, I asked him, how did you get so resilient? Whatever comes up, he's just okay with it. Whatever comes up, he's just okay. No matter how disappointing it might seem to him or other people, it's not disappointing to him. He just rolls with it. And I asked him one time, how did you get like this? What was your practice or spiritual practice to become so resilient? And he said, I guess, I hate to say it, but I was always like this. How wonderful. It's pretty rare. I've never met anybody else like this before. But it was beautiful, you know, that he's like this. I mean, it took me many, many years to be resilient the way I am. And I am very resilient. But it took me a long time to be as resilient as evidently he always has been. All enlightened beings are resilient. All enlightened beings accept things as they are, no matter what they are. This is what we awaken to. So this mantra that I'm going to offer to you is very simple, but don't let the simplicity of it make you think that this is not extraordinarily powerful and completely transformative for your life. So, ready? Here's the mantra. When whatever comes up in your life, whatever changes happen, whatever challenges, everything that you meet in your life, good or bad or neutral, the mantra is to say, yes. This too. I accept this fully without wanting it to change. I accept this fully exactly as it is. Yes. This too. I accept this exactly as it is. Now, this is a mantra for you to use, but this is actually the mind of awake beings. We're always like this. We don't have to think about saying yes to something because we automatically do say yes. We live in yes, this too. I accept this exactly as it is. We live in this. This is what happens when you wake up. You live in this. So you're always happy. No matter what happens, you're always happy. Nothing can take away your happiness. because you live according to this mantra. It's something I never really thought about that much. Many people have asked me, are you always this happy? And, I don't think about it, so I'll sort of check in and go, I guess so. I guess so. I haven't been like this all my life, for sure, but after awakening, yes, I do seem to always be happy. I do seem to always be at peace. I do seem to always feel this vast, all-pervasive love. Yes. Yes, this too. I accept this exactly as it is. Now, if you think about in your life, moments in your life when you truly felt happy, at peace, and great love, weren't you saying to that moment, yes, this too, I accept this exactly as it is? Of course you were. Nobody resists happiness. Nobody resists love. Nobody resists peace. Nobody says no to peace, to the experience of peace. Nobody says no. Nobody says no to the experience of great happiness. Nobody says no to the experience of love. I was saying when the mind is should I fall in love? What if I don't? What if it's not bad? That's not love yet. When love is here, it's an experience. You feel love, you are love. And nobody says no to that experience. In fact, we want more of it, right? So in that moment that you're feeling this great love, you are saying this mantra. You are saying internally, yes, this too. I accept this exactly as it is. Of course you do. You're happy. Of course you do. You're in love. Of course you do. You're feeling this all-pervasive, profound peace. So at some point in your life, you have felt like that. And you have said this mantra without saying it out loud, without even knowing you were saying it. I didn't really know that I was saying it until it just occurred to me that I always say it. That inside, this is something that I'm saying no matter what happens. And no matter what happens, saying this. Now, when you say this, you have to feel it. It has to be a direct feeling. It's not enough just to say, yes, I accept this. It's meaningless unless it's real to you. You have to say yes. And your mind wants to say no often. No. No, I don't like this coronavirus. No, I don't like being, separated from my friends and family. No, I don't want to wear a mask. If it should come to pass that I'm forced to get a vaccine, no, I don't want a vaccine. I have a right to my body. Nobody's going to put a needle in me and inject me with a vaccine that might kill me or make me sick. So we have a lot of no's. And when we're suffering with these challenges, our mind is filled with another mantra of no, I don't want this. It's not fair. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be right. This is not my preference. I don't want this. It's against what I believe. It's against my opinions. No, 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 no. And as a result, we're miserable. We're unhappy. We're fearful. And we're angry. So I'm not saying we're going to be forced to have a vaccine, but some people think so. But if that should come to pass, and we are, I don't have anything to do with Western medicine at all. Nothing. I haven't been to a doctor in over 20 years. And I don't want to. I have no reason to, Things, if something comes up, if any kind of illness or sickness comes up, it always heals by itself without me doing anything. It just naturally heals by itself. Over and over and over again, I've seen this. So I have no use for Western medicine. But if I'm required to have a vaccine and I can't, go to, my place that I buy food, or if I want to go see my kids and get on a plane, I can't go on a plane without a vaccine, I'll probably get a vaccine. And what I'll say about that is, yes, this too, I accept this exactly as it is. And when I do that, I'll have no problem with it at all. Last Saturday, I had, after I did the satsang, I felt extremely tired, and I went to sleep for a couple of hours. And then I had a transmission that I do with my friends, that I do all the time, twice a week, more now. And so I said, well, okay, I'm going to try and see if I can do that with them. But halfway through, I had to leave. I just couldn't, I was just too weak. And I just needed to go to sleep. So I apologized and I left and I went to sleep and I slept for 19 hours. 19 hours. And when I woke up, the fever was gone. But I had no hunger, and I thought, oh, this is the beginning of my water fast. Usually I do a 3-day water fast at least 3 times a year, and I'd stopped doing that for the past year. And it turns out this was just a reminder to do that because it's extremely healthy for the body. It just cleans things out. It heals. It's a cleanse. It's just a wonderful thing to do. And I'd forgotten about that. So this fever and this tiredness reminded me of that. And, what can I say to it? Yes, this too. I accept this exactly as it is. That's what I do. And my friend said, oh, it's terrible that you had this fever. I hope you're okay. I hope you're all right. And it's wonderful and sweet that they were concerned about me. But that's not my feeling about it at all. My feeling about it is only, yes, this too. I accept this exactly as it is. So I have no feeling that having this fever or tiredness was bad. I couldn't do something that I had planned on doing, yes, but that was also okay. The fever was okay. Sleeping for 19 hours was okay. The fasting was wonderful. And it was such an incredible healing for me because before this happened, my shoulder, my right shoulder, because from an injury from a long time ago as a young adult, and also maybe I was overtraining it with weights a little bit. So I was just having this, I know what to do about it, and nothing worked more than temporarily. I still felt this pain in my shoulder. And plus I'd started running on asphalt. And it was hurting my knee a little bit. My left knee was starting to hurt a little bit from that. And no matter what I did with that too, it was only temporary. And the next day I would feel a little bit of pain in it, especially when exercising it. So what happened after like 2 or 3 days after the sleeping and after the fasting, there's no pain. It surprised me. It's like, oh, I'd had this for a month here. And at least a couple of weeks with the knee is gone. Just no pain there at all. So some of the things that we think are bad are actually good. In fact, everything is good. Everything is for our benefit. And this is something else you learn when you wake up, that everything that happens is for your benefit. Everything. Getting cancer is for your benefit. Having pain is for your benefit. Having a toothache is for your benefit. Everything is for your benefit. This coronavirus is for your benefit. Social distancing is for your benefit. Being asked to wear a mask is for your benefit. Everything is for your benefit. Everything that happens, everything that you think is terrible is actually for your benefit. And it's an interesting thing to have happen. But when you say this mantra, yes, this too, you're saying this too because it's something that you don't want. It's something that you've been saying no to. So saying this too says, yes, this too, I accept this exactly as it is. If you don't accept it exactly as it is, you're not present. You're not living in this moment. You're living in your mind. You're living in your thoughts. You're not in reality. When you accept things exactly as they are, you're present to reality. And it's never what you think it is. It's always different, but it's always much better. Yes, this too. I accept this exactly as it is. Now, Thich Nhat Hanh, who was my Zen teacher for many, many years, for 40 years, I was part of the Sangha and all that. And one of the mantras that he gave as a gatha, something that you say as you're walking with walking meditation, is he taught this to French children when he was teaching walking meditation to them. And so with one foot and breath, you breathe in, yes, with one step, and the next step you breathe out, merci. Oui, merci. Oui, merci. Oui, merci. Oui, merci. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. And this is a shorter way of saying that same mantra, because you're saying yes, fully, yes to this moment. And thank you for this moment. Thank you is saying, this too, I accept this exactly as it is. Right? Thank you is, I accept this exactly as it is. This too, I accept this exactly as it is. Oui, merci. Yes, thank you. It's so simple, but if you embrace this, if you live this, if you take this into your experience of life, you will no longer be unhappy. This is actually the secret to happiness, and it works in every situation. In the middle of a war, if you're dying of cancer, if you're dying of the COVID-19 coronavirus, in every situation it works. In the moment of your dying, yes, this too, I accept this exactly as it is. Can you feel what that feels like? Take something that's something that you're the most against, something that you don't want to have happen, or it is happening and you absolutely don't want it to happen, or your fantasies about the future, and they're all fantasies. Nobody knows what the future is. Nobody knows what the next moment is. So saying like, this is going to happen in a week, that's like absurd. This is going to happen in next year. That's absurd. Nobody knows. You don't know what's going to happen in the next second. Nobody does. That's truth. That's reality. You don't know. But if you're afraid of this, if you think it's going to happen and you're afraid of this, say, yes, this too. I accept this fully, exactly as it is. And see what happens. If you fully accept it, there's no problem with it anymore, is there? There's no resistance. There's no saying, no, I don't want life. I want my dream of what things are supposed to be, not reality. I want my dream of how I think things are supposed to be. I don't want reality. I don't want life. I don't want this moment. I don't want truth. How can you not suffer if that's what you feel? How can you not suffer if that's what you think? And so many people are thinking that. So many people have the mantra of no, not me. That's not going to happen for me. I resist this. I don't accept it. I don't want it. That's the mantra of hell. That's the mantra of suffering. That's the mantra of what we call evil. And you don't have to keep saying that mantra. You can try this mantra. Yes. The mantra of heaven. Yes. This too. I accept this fully, exactly as it is. This is the mantra of love. Accepting fully, exactly as it is love. It's like a big, all-embracing hug for whatever it is. It will radically change your life in the most beneficial way possible. Yes, this too. I accept this fully, exactly as it is. Now, of course, sitting here with me, there's a peacefulness and an ease and grace and presence, a type of a transmission where this is arising in you. Your own true nature is arising in you. So this feels good. This is easy. Right? You're already saying yes, this too. I accept this fully, exactly as it is, because it feels good. The practice of this mantra is when that's not happening. When you are angry, when you are fearful, when you are resisting life. That's when you use this mantra, because you're already doing it when you're happy. You're already doing it when you feel at peace, when you feel love. Of course. Of course. When you fall in love and you're with your beloved, it's wonderful, right? That moment is like, oh God, could things be any better? No, of course not. This is amazing. And you're saying, yes, I accept this fully, exactly as it is. Of course you do. You not only accept it, you love it, you embrace it. This is wonderful. So that mantra is going on without you knowing it. And that's part of your happiness and part of your love is this mantra, even though you don't know it. So the magic of this mantra is you can bring it into the things that you don't love, the things that you hate, the things that you fear, the things that you feel a victim or you're being oppressed by the government or people or scientists or whatever you're afraid of, whatever you're resisting. Now, to the mind, some people who are resisting what I'm saying are going to be feeling, yeah, but then I'll just be a pushover. I'll just be a doormat, and you know, the evil people will do everything, and I won't be able to stop them. But you're not stopping them anyways, right? You're complaining about it isn't stopping them. You're not really being effective in this way. And some people may say, but my anger makes me take action. And if enough people are angry, they'll take action and then they'll protest in the streets and they'll make a great change. It doesn't really happen that way. I've been part of hundreds of protest marches and started and organized protest marches. And things kept going the way they are. It didn't really change anything. It's hard to accept because we don't know what else to do. You know, write letters to our congressman. Yeah. And still things remain the same. We're acting out of anger. It's not effective. It doesn't really work. What does work is when we act out of love. And yes, this too, I accept this exactly as it is acting out of love. It doesn't make us blind. It doesn't make us, a Pollyanna. Oh, everything is just rainbows. And no, it just says, yes, I accept this moment exactly as it is. Exactly as it is. It just means we're aware of what's going on. We're not filtering it through our anger and our fear. We're just aware of it. And from that awareness, real effective action naturally comes. Effective action, not action that doesn't have any positive effect, not action that often has a very negative effect, but beneficial, positive effect. Effective action, positive action, wise action. It can only come from love. That's just the way it is. It's never been otherwise. Wars start and people have in their idea, this is a good thing and it needs to happen. They're acting out of fear and ignorance and resisting. These people are bad and they should be punished. Nothing good ever comes from that. And yet this is how we act in the world, right? Put criminals in prison and make things very uncomfortable for them, then they won't commit crimes if they get out. Does that actually work? Never has. And you keep doing the same thing that doesn't work over and over again. In some countries, they're actually trying to rehabilitate prisoners, and they're treating them well. And they're giving them education, and they're giving them psychotherapy, and they're helping them deal with their issues and their problems and drug addiction. And they're having incredible success. They're changing people's lives. Of course they will. Of course they do, if you act from love. And how they came to that is first they said, yes, this too. I accept this situation exactly as it is. And then they could look and see, obviously, these people need help. These people need love. Of course they do. They don't need punishment. It never works. And yet this is what we do. Because we don't know this mantra. So we don't have wisdom. We live in the ignorance of fear and anger and despair. The ignorance of feeling like we're victims and that we are powerless and can't do anything. That's never been true. We have enormous power. Every single one of us does, far more than we could ever imagine. And when we use this mantra and express this mantra fully and deeply from our deepest place in our heart, fully expressing our heart, yes, this too, I accept this fully exactly as it is, then that wisdom naturally arises from that. It's not that we have to search for it or go in Google to figure something out or talk to our friends, what can we do? What can we do? No. It just comes naturally, it arises. We know exactly what to do. How? I don't know. I don't know where this wisdom comes from. It's available to me, but I don't know where it comes from. Certainly not my own mind, my own conditioning. That's extremely limited. This wisdom is just as available to you. Yes. This too. I accept this fully exactly as it is. I embrace this fully exactly as it is. I hope you put this into practice every day, every moment, with everything that comes up, every thought, every conspiracy theory that you hear and believe, and it's like, oh my God, it's so worse than I thought. the elite are controlling everything. They're going to put chips in our brain, or whatever you're thinking, whatever you're afraid of, whatever you don't want. Take that thought, that fear, and say to it, yes, this too. I accept this exactly as it is. Not with resisting it, not saying, but I don't want them to put a chip in my brain. Say, yes, this too. I accept it exactly as it is, and see what that feels like. See what it feels like to be happy, to be at peace, no matter what happens. It doesn't matter that it's not true. It's your fearful thought. Almost all of them are not true. When they're connected to fear and you feel fear, that's a guarantee that what you're afraid of is not real, not true, right? False evidence appearing real. How many things, if you're honest with yourself, that you were afraid were going to happen, actually did happen in the way that you thought they would? In my experience, with all the fear that I had throughout my whole life, not once. Out of, I don't know, millions of thoughts, millions of fearful thoughts, not one of them ever came to be. In fact, it's a practice to free yourself from fear that came to me. How to heal fear is to accept fully that fearful thought. Yes, this too, I accept this exactly as it is. This too, I accept exactly as it is. I think I don't know if you've been with me for a while, you know that when I came to Sedona, there was something in my a resistance in my mind to come to the changes that were going to happen to me when I came here, the growth and the evolution and the spirit and the awakening that was going to happen here. And my mind, it got so fearful that when I was all packed, my truck was packed, I was ready to go, I could not open the door to my studio to leave to my loft. I couldn't open the door. I tried to open it, and I had this fearful thought that your truck is going to break down in the desert on the way there, and you're going to be crawling through the desert because you don't have any water, dying of thirst, and your whole body is going to be covered with scorpions and rattlesnakes biting you. That was the image that my mind catered up for me to be afraid. And I was terrified. I mean, I really thought this was going to happen. I go, oh crap, that's not what I want at all. I just wanted to go, to Sedona because I'm moving there. I just want to go there, and I don't want to have this terrible thing happen. And so I couldn't open the door. I just went and sat down, and I said, maybe I'll try again tomorrow. I tried again tomorrow, and the same thing happened. This fear just overwhelmed me, and I went and sat down again. And finally, I said, okay, then I'm going to break down in a brand new truck in the desert and be, dying of thirst, and and rattlesnakes and scorpions are going to get together and cover my body and bite me, as if they're working in concert with each other. And so I said, okay, I guess that's what's going to happen. Maybe there's a slim chance that I might squeak through and make it to Sedona, but I guess I'm probably going to die, but I'll do it anyway. And as soon as I accepted it, that fear thought just disappeared, because I said, okay. I said, yes. This too, I accept this exactly as it is. I accept this fear thought exactly as it is, as if it is real. And I'm just going to my death. I'm going to my doom, and in a very painful death. And I'm going for it. Okay, I guess that's what's going to happen, but I'm going to do it. And as soon as I did that, it disappeared, because your fear thoughts cannot stand up to yes. They exist because you're saying no, no rattlesnakes and scorpions. I don't want that. No, I don't want to die that painful death. No, I don't want that. That's why the fear can last. And it can last for years like that. I mean, this fear thought may have prevented me from ever moving to Sedona at all. and just give up on it because I don't want to die this death of the rattlesnakes and scorpions and dying of thirst. But when I said yes to it, that was it. It was over then. Never came back again. And I went and had a wonderful trip out to Sedona. And every other time that I've had a fear, I've done that same practice. Yes, this too, I accept this exactly as it is. And as soon as I do that, but I have to really do it. I have to really accept, yes, I'm willing to die. I'm willing to be laughed at. I'm willing to be embarrassed. I'm willing to have, whatever. I'm willing to be homeless. I'm willing to be impoverished. I'm willing to be whatever the fear thought is. Yes, I accept that. I'm fully accepting that that's going to happen as truth. And I accept it. And as soon as I do, the fear thought is gone. Every time, if you do this, you will find this, that every single time you fully accept this fear thought, it's like you're shining a light on it and seeing like, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. When you were a little child, you might have felt that there was a monster in your closet, some monster, and you could visualize it, horrible looking thing in your closet, and the door was open a little bit and it was very dark in there. You couldn't see in there, but you were sure that was in there. And as soon as your parents left, it was going to come out and get you. So you're petrified, pull the blanket over your head, and you may have even a hard time sleeping because you're so afraid of this monster in your closet. But if you say, yes, okay, to go and look and open the door and turn on the light, that's saying yes. No is like, I know it's there and I don't want it to be. So it just stays. Night after night, you're afraid there's a monster in your closet. And it just, during the daytime when there's light on, it goes away. But at night, every time it's dark, it comes back. And you know it's in there. But if you just get up, open the door and turn on the light and look in there, you see there isn't anything there. You're saying yes to it. And you realize there's nothing there. It's just my thoughts. There's no monster there. Just my thoughts. And so this is what happens when you say yes to this. When you say yes to conspiracy theories. When you say yes to your own fear. When you say yes to your own resistance. Yes, this too. I accept this exactly as it is. Because this is awakened consciousness. And this mantra instantly brings you to awakened consciousness. Yes, this too. I accept this exactly as it is. Thank you, my friend. May this practice give you great joy.